This next clip is from, it's a compilation of Mark Zuckerberg and the Facebook whistleblower by the name of Frances Hagen. And in this clip, it's a conversation about Facebook realizing that if they change the algorithm to make the internet, Facebook safer, people would spend less time on the site. And so they'll click on less ads, and then Facebook will make less money. So here's the exact reason why Facebook has to keep you addicted. Social media in general has to keep you addicted. Let's look at this clip.
Haugen told us the root of Facebook's problem is in a change that it made in 2018 to its algorithms.
So, you have your phone. You might see only 100 pieces of content if you sit and scroll off for, 5 minutes. But Facebook has thousands of options it could show you.
The algorithm picks from those options based on the kind of content you've engaged with the most.
Easier to inspire people to anger than it is to other emotions.
Do you believe your product can be addictive?
We certainly do not design the product in that way.
Facebook has realized that if they change the algorithm to be safer, people will spend less time on the site. They'll click on less ads, they'll make less money.
The research that we've seen is that using social apps to connect with other people can have positive mental health benefits and well-being benefits.
Facebook's own research says as these young women begin to consume this eating disorder content, they get more and more depressed, and it actually makes them use the app more.
The way we design our algorithms is to encourage meaningful social interactions.
Its own research is showing that content that is hateful, that is divisive, that is polarizing, gets engagement, a reaction.
But election interference remains an ongoing threat, so we continue to improve as part of our ongoing commitment to supporting the civic process.
They basically said, oh good, we made it through the election, there wasn't riots, we can get rid of civic integrity now.
We strengthened our enforcement against militias and conspiracy networks like QAnon to prevent them from using our platforms to organize violence or civil unrest.
But after the election, Facebook was used by some to organize the January 6th insurrection.
Come on, somebody.
There it is. And before you jump in there, Rebecca, shout out to The Recount. They put that mashup together, therecount.com. Your thoughts?
We saw it. We see that it's two sides to the story, and they like to say it's on the same coin. It's not. This is not the same coin. This is two sides to the story that are very different. One person's going to say this, and one person's going to say that. What we're seeing here is Mark Zuckerberg tries to elude to this idea that he's like, a down to earth, just made money out of nowhere. I'm just that type of person. And so when I watch him in this interview, what I see is somebody who has learned to say the right things, right? He knows what it is over here. But if I pull a little bit of what the truth is, because there's a truth in what he's saying, if I pull a little bit what the truth is here, families and friends can connect through Facebook. The numbers show that they do connect on Facebook. That's not a lie, but it's still evil because in the way that you're using this truth to literally downplay what's really happening here on your social media network. Family and friends and militias and hate groups are getting together. That's what's happening,
right? And
they are producing what we see, what we saw happen on January 6th, and that's what he's not talking about. So, he can say what he wants and what he's saying isn't a lie, but he's leaving out some serious parts, and he's leaving out what those groups of families and friends get together and create on them social media websites where it's white supremacist pages and hate groups for Asians and hate groups for Black Americans and all that kind of stuff and immigrants. And then they get together and they build this thing where they become terrorists and they do what they did on January 6th.
Amen.
You said a word there. Here's one last clip. Well, anyway, I'm just going to play it. I'm not going to introduce it. It's Jen Psaki, and she's discussing social media companies being incapable of regulating themselves. Let's run the press secretary for the President of the United States.
In our view, this is just the latest in a series of revelations about social media platforms that make clear that self-regulation is not working. That's long been the president's view and been the view of this administration. They validate the significant concern that the president and lawmakers on both sides of the aisle have expressed about how social media giants operate and the power they've amassed.